Yo. Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter. Chapter 344, that is 344 of Hunter x Hunter. Wow. So, Don Freecss, I'm like, what? Like, no. Oh. Yo, are you kidding me? Don Freecss is in the midst of writing this book right now. Come on. And, I mean, first of all, I got my tabs open, obviously, because it's Hunter x Hunter. I have to reference, so I forgot what the name of the book was, I just brain farted. So the book is called The New Continent's Traveler's Journal East and West. So right now, the main book that is used is the East one, because that's all. No, it's not the main one. That's the only one they have. That's it. Just the East book. The West book is being written right now by like Don Freecss's like great grandpappy. I'm like, wait, hold on. Since I mean, listen, honestly, this is kind of crazy because I never would have seen this coming. Don Freecss, man. And right now he's chilling on the west coast of Lake Moby. I'm like, no. That's completely Listen, the V5 have only explored, like, the north and the south, more or less the northeast and the southeastern areas, according to the map. We know that. This dude was exploring the eastern side, so that's why most of the V5's explorations have been on the east side. If you go to the map where they explored in the north and south regions, but they've explored all on the eastern half. The western half is unknown. The western half is unknown. Oh no! Oh no! No! No, and Don Freecss, he's like 300 plus years old. Now, there are these herbs of longevity that reside. I think Brion's fucking disgusting. Let me like when they're going over like the stat chart. From my memory, it was this, okay? The first one that they mentioned was the first one that Jin mentioned when it came to the specifics. Because obviously when you go there, you want to have something in return. And that's the whole point. The point here is to go to the Dark Continent to gain resources to better humanity. Or yourself, you know, whatever. It depends how selfish you are. I mean, some guys, they're like, yo, I'm me. And they go in there and they take what they want. If they have the power. But we find out that, number one, there is this ghost gem of some kind. I forgot what it's called. But you put it in water, and it can actually produce like a lot of energy. Like we're talking about, it was 20,000 kilowatt hours of energy. That's like we're talking about power that can. We're talking about electricity that can power urban areas quite easily for a long period of time. So that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of electricity. And it's a very useful ghost gem or whatever it was called. But the territories wherein which these gems lie, these stones lie, are in the territory of the Papus. So they had like 1,000 dudes. And I think it was like either 7 or 2 guys came back. No, I think it was 7. Let me go back. All right, yeah, I need to go back and reference shit. All right, I always gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. Yeah, the ghost stone. Yeah, 1,000 people went there to collect the ghost stone, and because of this scouting, the allied nations of Beg Rose spent 1,000 people down there, and only 7 fuckers came back. The fucking Papus are just, they're disgusting. But what's even worse was Brian. I'm like, no. Like, fuck out of here, man. No. I mean, the Brian, massive high return. Okay, we're talking about an herb, like a longevity herb that can make you live for a very long period of time, which probably what, we're talking about, okay, well, right here it says, quote verbatim, herbs there which could cure 10,000 different illnesses. 10,000 different illnesses. The herbs in this labyrinth region, and by the way, I'm using both Manga Panda and Manga Stream, because there were some translations that kind of I was iffy with when it came to Manga Stream. So I use Manga Panda, because Manga Panda is a simpler version of the translation. But regardless, moving on. Thing here is that we have this immensely useful herb that's high return. But the risk is astronomically high. And apparently in this labyrinth area, this ancient labyrinth region, after you go to that area, you go 400 kilometers, which is actually quite a bit of a distance, to say the least. You go 400 kilometers further inland, and then there's a labyrinth region. And there are herbs there, but then there is a weaponized plant that's known as Bryon, and it wiped out instantly an elite force of dudes with only 2 people left. I was like, no. Wait. An elite squadron of dudes got wiped out and only 2 people. This plant is weaponized. It is weaponized. No. You can't, no, you can't win. You can't, well, no. Apparently Don Freecss won. Apparently this dude is, Don Freecss, shit. Oh my goodness. This is crazy, man. Then we have Hellbell and Hell's Bells. I forgot what was going on with Hell's Bells. And I forgot what was going on with the AI gas life forms. But I remember the Republic of Minbo, they went down there with the AI gas life forms and they actually had the Hunter Association with them in order to go find this liquid, like these liquids. All right, it depends which translation. When you go to Manga Panda, it's singular. When you go to Manga Stream, it's plural. So I don't know, but regardless, there's a liquid, and they got fucked up by AI gas life forms, obviously. And then the Hellbell one I forgot about. And then I think it was Isaac Notaro, some person called like Zig Zoldyck, and then a person who I remember her being like a gourmet hunter. I'm like she belongs in Toriko. I remember that shit because that shit was funny as fuck. Because literally her occupation is gourmet hunter. She's a gourmet hunter. I'm like, wow, a Bishoku guy over here. All right. Yeah, Bishoku. Yeah, she belongs in Toriko. Okay, she's a gourmet hunter, and she went to the Dark Continent, and so it was those 3. It was Isaac Notaro, it was Zig Zoldyck, and then I think her name is Lene, Gourmet Hunter. All right, Gourmet Hunter Lene. All right, fucking yo, that's crazy. Yo, since when did Mitsutoshi and Togashi must have like talked things like in the past, like yo, like I'm taking gourmet hunters, right? So like you step the fuck aside because you ain't using these cats since you're always on hiatus. I'm gonna take the gourmet hunters. Then he comes back, I'm bringing them back, fool. I'm bringing them back, Mitsutoshi. You got a problem with that? He's like, yeah, I got a problem with that. Because look at my gourmet world, and then look at your Dark Continent, man. It's like you want to go. It's like you want to go. He's like, yeah, you want to go. Yeah. Like let's go. Then you have Oda in the back, like watching from afar, like what the fuck is going on here? What about my shit? What about my new world? Where's my Shin Sekai? It's like it's not big enough, bro. It's like you ain't big enough, man. Like you're not packing that much. So like it's hilarious. It really is. But because like these 3 shonens are just trying to go even further beyond with their world expansions. They are like simultaneously. New World just started. Gourmet World just started. Fucking goddamn Dark Continent is about to start. Shit. Jesus. Wow. Is that no? That has to be coincidental. Well, either it is, or they somehow collaborated in that. Like, Togashi purposefully took hiatuses just so he could mess with Mitsutoshi and Oda. Like, yo, yeah, I'm the third wheel. Like, fuck. All right, okay. But moving on, because I went way off topic. Then we get to see some of the creatures that comprise the Dark Continent. Oh. Wow. And mind you, these aren't like the diseases. These aren't like the AI gas life forms. These aren't the weaponized plants. These aren't these are just creatures. They're just creatures, and they're running around, and there's constant danger. No matter where you look, it's just constant dangers. Giant insects. I mean, huge, monolithic insects. There was one giant-ass creature being completely swallowed up by another giant, and this thing was like a giant sandworm. Oh, it was like Tremors. I'm like, holy fuck! Get out of here! What are you doing? Yeah! I'm like, no, man. Super Tremors on steroids, Tremors 6, like Dark Continent. Like, this thing would swallow an entire fucking city. I'm not joking. It's huge. Because you see the mouth and it's swallowing this giant creature. And then you go to like after there's this page needed a triple, even though they don't exist. This page needed 3 pages. Like, it was a double page spread. And then there was another smaller page that comprised, or another smaller panel that comprises that same picture. And then we see Netero, Zig, and Lene. And this thing just catapults up. The mouth was just literally the tip of the iceberg. This thing shoots up. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, no. The creatures by themselves you wouldn't want to mess with. Let alone the diseases. Let alone the plants. No. This is crazy. This is, oh my god. Wow. Yo, like, it's all hype for the Dark Continent, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every inch, every aspect of that. I really am. I can't deny it. Every panel drawn with the context of the Dark Continent in mind. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, moving on. We basically have this whole wrapping up of who the number 2 is amongst their party, alright? And when it comes to this number 2 position, Jin, he's taking it over. The number 1 is like that weird chick with the damn ponytails or pigtails, whatever. And she is like some robot chick, I don't know, like when she said like combat mode completed or sequence engaged, something like that. So like she seems to be like some kind of robot girl. I don't know. But Jin assumed that she was the number 1. He's number 2. And at least that's the way it's gonna roll out. And pretty much what he's done to try and gain the favor of these individuals around him is that he says, okay, fine. I'm not gonna change anything. I have no desire to change any of the rules that Patterson has set in place. However, I will be number 2. And I will double the payment that Netero promised you. And I'll pay you up front right now. Like, honestly, if it was me, I would have been like, yeah, so, Netero did promise me. He did promise me like $1 billion. So can you just double that? Yeah. And here's the crazy part. He would, because keep in mind this: Don Freecss is famous. He is world renowned. He has found, I think, the most new species, new environments when it comes to the other hunters that comprise the Hunter Association. I think he's number one. I'm pretty sure he's number one. If he's not, then he's top 3, top 5. He has to be. All right, he is world-renowned, famous. And the thing here is that Don Freecss, when one of the dudes came up to him, he's like, all right, fine, you're number 2, here's my account. Here's my account. Don Freecss, he goes in his phone, a few numbers, okay, here's the money. You can check right now. The dude checks. Whoa. Money. Straight up bills. Well, no. Digital bills. And this dude's like, I'll be right back. And when he leaves, you're thinking, yo, like he just straight up bailed. Like you're thinking he's gone. He's out of here. In the wind. But no, he actually comes back and says, I spent it all already. And the money that this guy used was to pay for his sister's medical expenses. And even if he dies, she'll be covered for the rest of her life. And that has to be a lot of money. Because this guy, I think, is a hunter. Because when he was talking, he said that he wanted to become a hunter to help pay for her bills. But even then, it wasn't enough. And we all know that the hunter license costs a pretty fucking penny to say that. It costs a lot of money. And yet that wasn't enough. So I don't know how much money Don Freecss has. But if he can pay for all of them and double the price that Netero promised and pay them up front, he has to be a multi-billionaire, at least. All right, at least. We're talking maybe in the hundreds of billions. Seriously. He may be like the guy, well, I can't say the most money on the planet, but among the hunters, he probably is one of the top, if not the top. That's a lot of fucking money, bro. That's a lot of money. So, Jin, his expeditions into the unknown have paid off well, extremely well. And now to go even further beyond. Maybe you meet up with great-great-great-great-grandpappy, Don, I should say. Don, whoa, fucking nuts. The fucking Don Freecss, man. But here's the thing, though. It depends on where they go. They can take the option of taking routes that were previously established because they have some idea of what's there already. And one of the main things here is that not only do they want to find and explore and find new things and pioneer the Dark Continent like Chairman Netero wanted, but also they want to try and stop and prevent the other 5 calamities from reoccurring. Like, guarantee prevention measures. Like, for example, a vaccine for Zobe. Or a pesticide to kill off Hellbell. Or Bryon, if you can. Or a suit that can defend itself against AI gas life forms. Something like that. Guaranteed countermeasures against these calamities. So if these calamities return to the human world, and actually, it is stated by Jin, that apparently, I think it was either Hellbell or the AI gas life forms, or the AI gas life forms in the Papu, because it's not Zobe, so it has to be either, because I know that the gas life forms were one of the two. But they're actually in the human world. But a calamity hasn't arisen. And they don't know the reason why. They're gonna leave it up to speculation. But they have found bodies. Of, I think, either the Papu, the Hellbell, but definitely the AI gas life forms in their world. They found them. They're there. So the problem here is that why aren't these things wiping out humanity? Who knows? They don't know. maybe there are certain conditions that lie deep within the human world where they can't survive or something. Maybe it's a whole geomagnetic reason. Again, no idea. No idea. So hopefully they can find out the reason why when they explore the Dark Continent and further beyond. However, the fear here is that when it comes to Beyond and the Hunter Association, they take a whole different route. They take a whole different route. And if they take a whole different route, that means what? A 6th Calamity. A 6th. And mind you, Don Freecss did state. He did state that all of these 5 Calamities are ranked higher than the Chimera Ants from an A to B rank when it pertains to their danger. They're ranked higher than the Chimera Ants. That's scary. That's scary, bro. That's very, very scary. So again, just more hype. And you can clearly see why. Alright, again, you see the creatures there. And after all of the power-ups that Meruem has delivered upon those around him, after the fear of his N and his aura, Meruem ain't surviving what the fuck just happened over there. He ain't. Alright? Tremors 6. No, man. No. He's not living. No one is living. So, I mean, there's other stuff in the chapter that I think Jin mentioned, but I'm forgetting right now. I'll skim through the chapter real quick after I mention Gon. And, well, Gon's very simple. Gon, for some reason, cannot use his Nen aura. This is probably an effect from Aluka restoring Gon to his condition before he had faced off against Pito. Because this may have to do with the Dark Continent. People are making that tie in to where, like, Aluka, her other personality is an AI gas life form. That's such a that's a massive theory. That's so far out there. Maybe, but Gon can't use his Nen. That's a problem. That's a big problem, and obviously he has to work it out. And I don't know how. He may have to go to Biscuit. He may have to go see someone else, but there's some kind of condition. Maybe there is some kind of condition that was placed upon him when Aluka restored him to his previous condition physically. So from a Nen standpoint, he may not be in the same position. Again, who knows? We'll see. So we move on. When it comes to Kurapika, Leorio, basically Leorio calls in Kurapika, like, yo, give me a fucking email. He's like, nah. Give me your email? No, I'm not giving you my email. But Leorio's there waiting for Kurapika, and basically, simply put, he's uncomfortable around people that he doesn't know. And granted, he is a Zodiac, and he is going to the Dark Continent, so he has every reason in the world to be uncomfortable. He does. And Kurapika, right now, he is pretty much deducing what he's going to do when it comes to the prince, one of the princes of Kaiken. And according to what Kao said, the prince has this dark shadow, or these dark shadows. Again, it depends on Manga Stream or Manga Panda. Manga Stream, it's plural. Manga Panda, it's singular. So again, I don't know. But there are these shadows or shadow around the prince. And the prince, it's hinted that he's some kind of monster. And I don't know what that means. Like, is he a monster physically from a Nen standpoint? Or is he like a psychological monster because he's really fucked up mentally? Again, who knows? But Kurapika said that he has always been dealing with monsters who, well, I should say monsters wearing human skin. And I think he is referring to Gon, because Gon, in a lot of respects, is a fucking monster. He is. So, that being said, that's very simple. And beforehand, there was dialogue with Kurapika, and Kurapika pretty much just trying to find his place in the world. When he was staring at the eyeballs that he had collected from the Nosferatu' daughter, I forgot her name, the lawyer, pastor, smuggler, all these people pretty much. And this guy, he has a lot of them, the prince. So obviously, in Kurapika's mind, once this is over, what does he go from here? So again, we'll see. We'll see. And I think that's it. Let me just skim through all the tabs real quick, because I want to make sure that I got everything that I wanted. I mean, I could give you the specific. Oh, right. There is one thing. Yeah. So right here, we actually get to find out that the place that we're housing the bodies, like the twisted up and the crunched up bodies, that place is called, and again, this is a huge difference when you compare Manga Panda and Manga Stream. In Manga Panda, they simply call the place the Bureau. But in Manga Stream, they call it the National Environmental Approval Agency. How do you go from Bureau to the National Environmental Approval Agency? That's worlds different. So, it really does depend. Translation-wise, it's very important in Hunter x Hunter. That's very obvious. So, but we find out that that's what it is from Manga Stream. From Manga Panda, you still don't really know for sure. And it looks like these three cats, meaning the guy with the chef hat, the guy with the... Well, basically they have cats. They're people with them who are going. I don't know if it's all of them, but most of them appear to be on board with Don Freecss being number 2. So, that's just the way it is. And I already mentioned about Don. I keep on calling him Don. Don. Well, maybe his name is Don. Because Don Freecss. Okay? We already know what he's up to. And my point here that I want to go back to, that I forgot to mention. Because they're probably going to take a route to the east, that probably means that they're not going to take, unless Beyond Netero and the Hunter Association take a route completely west, there is no way in hell they're going to run into Don Freecss. There's not. So if they take the routes that they've explored before, they're not running into Don Freecss. If they take a new route that's west, then they can. There's a possibility. There is a possibility. Though, considering the size of the Dark Continent, whether or not it's possible remains to be seen. Because it's huge, and the odds are slim to none that they're going to run into Don Freecss. So, if we do get any Don Freecss backstory, it's going to be direct from Togashi himself. Where we're going to get a flashback, or we're going to get actual real-time perspective of the Dark Continent from Don Freecss, which I actually wouldn't mind at all, considering the fact that it's going to take them a few months for these people to get to the Dark Continent anyway. So that's just the way it is. And let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. Just make sure, yeah, we have the Dark Continent itself, and then they mentioned how Zobe, and at the same time that Beyond went, the kingdom of Kukanya was after the alchemical plant known as Metalion. They had succeeded in retrieving it, but on their way back, they lost their way, took the wrong route, and ended up catching the absolute worst disease. They had contracted Zobe, including the hunters. There were a total of 6 survivors. Of course, the plant had all withered and died. Alright, fine. So obviously, again, it's terrible. Terrible. And that's it. And then after that, Jin talks about, Don Freecss and the book. So that's it. So overall, the chapter, I thought it was a great chapter. I thought it was an amazing chapter overall. And I'll leave it at that because we're reaching the 30-minute mark, so let me stop right now. So I thought it was a great chapter of Hunter x Hunter. An amazing chapter of Hunter x Hunter. And I will see you guys later. King of Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Dark Continent, we are on the fucking way. Have a nice day.